Good day, South Africans. Welcome to the Law Channel. I'm Advocate Moyekwa, and I'll be talking to you tonight about the Legal Practice Council board examination. And we know that the candidate attorneys would have to write at some time or the other board exams. And I took an effort to try and get hold of the provincial statistics in terms of the performance of each of the provinces in the country, and to try and check how they fared in comparison with each other, and also to ask questions, right? To ask questions to understand how do we appreciate as legal practitioners the results. How do law firms appreciate the results? I'd be curious to hear both people in private sector and in government in terms of what their views are in terms of these Legal Practice Council Board exam results. But I'd be curious also to understand from maybe somebody in the Department of Justice to say what could be the explanation for the results that I'll quickly share with you. And the aim of this video is not to embarrass anybody or any province in any manner whatsoever, but I suppose the aim in the end is to, one, help us reflect on the state of legal education in the country and the obstacles that are there for those that want to enter into the legal profession, but also to hopefully through this video get into a position where we can hopefully manage to find the root causes of such poor performance and find ways how we can improve the quality of our results, right? Now, I'm going to start by mentioning that obviously the exams were written in August and for the attorneys 2023 obviously, and the advocates peoples wrote somewhere in September of this year. But for purposes of this video, I'm just going to only deal with the board exams in terms of the attorneys, right? And we know obviously that the attorneys have to write 4 papers, right? And obviously paper 1 we deal with court procedure, and paper 2 obviously we deal with the wills and estate. Paper 3 we deal with attorneys practice as well as ethics, and then obviously paper 4 we deal with bookkeeping. Now I'm going to deal with the provinces in no particular order, but this will hopefully give you a picture in terms of how each of the provinces that we have performed in terms of each of the papers. Now, when we look at paper 1, for example, which is court procedure, we have there the Eastern Cape, and in the Eastern Cape, for example, 317 candidates wrote and only 84 passed, which means the pass rate in the Eastern Cape is 26%. Now, in the Free State, for example, 101 wrote and 55% passed, which is, I suppose, the pass rate 54%. And Gauteng obviously saw the highest turnout in terms of number of candidate legal practitioners there, with 1,784 that showed up to write, and of that number, only 787 passed, meaning that in Gauteng the pass rate is 44%. In KwaZulu-Natal, for example, 506 candidate legal practitioners wrote, and 189 passed, which means the pass rate is 37%. Then we go to the province of Limpopo, 276 showed up to write, with only 66% passing, which means that the pass rate for Limpopo is a meager 24%. Then we go to Mpumalanga, and 124 wrote, and 65 of them passed, which means that the pass rate is 52%. We go to the Northern Cape, where 30 wrote and 15 passed, and it means that the pass rate there is 50%. And then the last province in terms of paper one is the Western Cape, which saw essentially there 396 students that wrote and 225 that passed. And the Western Cape is then the highest, has the highest pass rate at 57%. But I'm trying to look at, for example, some of the provinces like the Eastern Cape, 26, the KwaZulu-Natal, 37, Limpopo, 24, Northwest, 27%. And these are the future legal practitioners that or people that aspire to be legal practitioners that wrote here. And I'd like to believe these are young people that have already gone through university. But what I do not understand is that how did we get to this level where the results are the way they are? And one thing when the results are this bad is that we cannot just blame the individual, right? We have to look at a myriad of factors that contribute to such a situation. Despite the fact that each of the candidate legal practitioners must take personal responsibility for their work, right? But it has, to my mind, it's a pandemic. It's a problem, and it's something that, as the legal profession, as the Legal Practice Council, and all of us that are in this profession must really take serious and find ways to address this issue. But now we go to paper 2, for example, in terms of wills and estates. In the Eastern Cape, for example, 280 students wrote wills and estates, 29 passing, which means the pass rate in the Eastern Cape is 10%, right? Then we've got in the Free State there 113 that wrote, and 58% passed, which means the pass rate in the Free State for paper 2 is 51%. Gauteng, for example, the 1,789 people's passed, and of that, for example, 787 of them passed, which means the pass rate is 44%. In KwaZulu-Natal, for example, 425 wrote, and 189 of those have passed, meaning that the pass rate for KwaZulu-Natal is also 44%. Now, Limpopo province has 262 candidates that wrote, and 66 of those passed, and that gives us like 25%. We've got Mpumalanga, 137 wrote, 65 passed, and that gives us 47%. Northwest, for example, 108 candidates wrote, and only 33% passed, meaning that we have a pass rate there of 31%. At the Northern Cape, for example, we've got 36 that wrote and 15 that passed, giving us a pass rate of 42%. And the Western Cape, again, we have a situation where 366 of the candidates that wrote and 225 that passed, giving us a pass rate of 61%. So here again, we've got the Western Cape at the top in terms of the pass rate. But we have still in paper 2 provinces like the Eastern Cape with 10% pass rate. We've got Limpopo with a pass rate of 25%, and we've got Northwest with a pass rate of 31%. It does not make sense to me, ladies and gentlemen. But let me continue to, without wasting time, release paper 3 results and paper 4 so that we can go into the discussion at least towards the end of that. Now, paper 3, which is the attorney's practice and ethics, in the Eastern Cape, for example, we've got 436 that wrote and 24 of those passed. It means the pass rate for paper 3 is 6%. In the Free State, 170 wrote, 30 passed, 18%. Gauteng, for example, we saw 2,335 that wrote, and we saw only 392 that passed, and then the pass rate there, the percentage obtained is 17%. KwaZulu-Natal, for example, we've got 525, of which only 126 passed, and obviously that gives us a percentage of 24%. We've got Limpopo, 324 that wrote, 25% passed. That's a pass rate of 8%. Mpumalanga, for example, 160 candidates wrote, only 3 passed, giving us 2% as a pass rate. Northwest, 143 wrote and only 9 passed, giving us only a pass rate of 6%. Northern Cape, we've got 39 that wrote and 3 passing, giving us 8%. We've got literally the Western Cape, which is once again the province with the highest percentage, of which 477 of the candidates that wrote, but 117 that passed, meaning that the pass rate for Western Cape is equally 25%. Here we see, in fact, the entire country on paper 3 getting below 25%. Eastern Cape 6, Free State 18, Gauteng 17%, KwaZulu-Natal 24%, Limpopo 8%, Mpumalanga 2%, Northwest 6%, Northern Cape 8%, Western Cape 25%. Ladies and gentlemen, in my view, this does not make sense. It is unacceptable. And surely this is a crisis. If this does not scare anybody, if this does not worry anybody, if this does not warrant a response, a serious response, and review by the Legal Practice Council and the legal profession, Department of Justice, and all that are concerned, then I'll know that there is seriously problems in our country when it comes to legal education. But then the last paper, ladies and gentlemen, that we have is paper 4, which is bookkeeping. And bookkeeping results are as follows. In the Eastern Cape, 373 that wrote, and then seemingly 111 passed. That is a pass rate there of 30%. The Free State, 150 wrote, 44 passed, 29% is the pass rate. Gauteng, for example, 2,218 that wrote and only 966 that passed. It means that the pass rate there is 44%. KwaZulu-Natal, for example, 525 wrote, 229 passed, meaning pass rate there is 44%. Limpopo, 324 wrote, 114 passed, meaning the pass rate is 35%. Now, the Mpumalanga, for example, 160 road with 59 passing, and then the pass rate there, the percentage is 37%. Northwest, 143 that road, and 47 that passed, meaning that the those that passed is 33%. Northern Cape, 39 writing and 15 passing, means that the pass rate there in terms of percentage is 38%. And then we've got the Western Cape, which is 477 candidates that wrote and 228 that passed, meaning that we have 48% pass rate. And obviously then in terms of provinces that have obtained below 30% or 30% and below, we have the Eastern Cape there, we have the Free State there, and we've got even Limpopo at 35, Mpumalanga 37, Northwest at 33, and we've got Northern Cape at 38. Ladies and gentlemen, if these results don't scare you as a law student, if these results don't scare you as a director of a law firm, and I wonder how members of the public who will be represented by these future legal practitioners would be feeling. And surely these results, in order for us to be where we are in terms of these results, it's much more complex than many can think. And I'd like to take this opportunity to invite the legal profession to engage with us as the law channel, and to help us understand what is happening, what is the state of our legal education in South Africa, what are the hindrances and challenges or causes of these dismal results. But more importantly, what is it that we can do as a profession, as a country, as the Department of Justice, as Legal Practice Council, in order to ensure that this such results do not repeat itself again. And it is not a time for us to blame game, to blame the individuals, to blame the LPC, to blame the department, but this is just an opportunity for us as a profession and as the academia to come and reflect positively in terms of the state of our legal education and how we can best be able to intervene and solve such a problem. But these kind of results are results that, as SA Law Hub, we definitely cannot be proud of. And surely, if they are so problematic, the results, it is surely more than just individuals' problem. Maybe there are bigger things that we have to think about and apply our minds to. Having said that, South Africans, I will certainly look forward to your contributions, and we're looking forward to being engaged. And you can write to us at salawhub@gmail.com. You can find us on SA Law Hub page on Facebook. But also, more importantly, ladies and gentlemen, like our video and subscribe to our channel and share this channel as widely as possible, because as we are moving, as we are growing, we are going to engage on various issues and topics, and that are very beneficial to those that have a curiosity about the law, whether they are legal practitioners, whether they're members of the public, whether they're in the academia, and whether they're presiding officers in some or other capacity. But having said that, South Africans, thank you so very much for allowing me an ear, and I will look forward to your contributions on this video. Thank you very much. I believe that we are a winning nation, and as a nation of champions, we can do better. Thank you.